Hello, welcome. So today we're going to be looking at r/best of Redditor updates. Just a forewarning, this story today is a little darker than most, so there is a few trigger warnings on the story. Make sure you listen to those at the start and decide if you wish to proceed with me. But if that is something you are interested in listening to today, then please do stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Thank you. Oh my god, my voice is still not back properly. I must tell you, I am getting so annoyed with coughing my guts up at night. It is driving me crazy. If anyone has any remedies for an incessant tickly cough, please do let me know. Hard mode though, because it cannot be either honey or lemon, because I hate honey and lemon brings me out in a rash. Okay, so this one was added to the subreddit by Choice Evidence 1983, and the title says, new update, co-workers side. So I'm guessing that means we have two people in the same Best of Redditor updates post. That's crazy. I don't think we've had one like that before. My negligence cost my partner her life, and I'm about to lose everything. And again, my voice is going to go up and down, here, there, and everywhere today, so you will have to excuse me. So, of course, Choice Evidence is not the original poster. The original poster's on screen and where it was originally posted. Choice Evidence is just the person who compiles it for us and puts it all into Best of Redditor updates nice and neatly for us. Aren't they good? So there is trigger warnings with this one. Infidelity, negligence, deathly allergic reaction, mentions of sexual assault and harassment, traumatic brain injury, assault and property damage. Mood spoilers for this one is sad and horrifying. So again, if that's something that you do not feel mentally able to deal with today, please do feel free to skip out. There are so many other videos for you to watch. Okay, so we have a recap. Editor's note: removed relevant comments from older posts for more spaces in the latest borrow. Fair enough. So the original post was posted June 1st, 2024. I, 35M, have been married to Lisa, 28F, for 3 years, together 7. A year ago, I fell deeply in love with Amy, 24F, and had been planning to end my marriage for her. What a shitbag. I know it's terrible and not what my wife deserves, but we were the real thing. Yeah, sure you were, love. Sure you were. 2 weeks ago, she had an allergic reaction when we were getting food after work. Who? The bit on the side or the wife? But she used her EpiPen and seemed mostly okay afterwards. She usually gets checked at the hospital after a reaction, but I asked if I could take her home and she could get a friend to drive her there because my wife was expecting me back. Okay, so the bit on the side is the one who had the allergic reaction. Got it. Look at me keeping up, aren't I good? Honestly, my brain's not working today. I've been watching real responders on YouTube quite a lot. Like, you know, those ones where they're like really old. They're like 80s, 90s series about like epidemics and things like that. And I was about to click on one that says the organism that attacks both people and fish. But my brain read the orgasm. And I had to do a double take. I was like, the what? Excuse your pardon. Anyway, back to the post. All I know is that she had a secondary reaction that evening and died. My goodness. I didn't even find out about it until the following Monday through a work email. It has been eating me up ever since, and I will never forgive myself for not sacrificing an hour of my time to possibly save her. I sent some childish messages to Amy when I didn't hear from her over the weekend because I thought that she was angry that I didn't take her to the hospital. I am thankful she never saw them, and I'm ashamed that I assumed the worst. Our relationship was great and the highs far outweighed the lows. It was an affair? How can you be like, the highs far outweighed the lows? My friend, your relationship was established on a low in the first place, and not a low as a sad low, a low as in like a moral low. But I have always hated being ignored and lose my cool when it happens. You just sound like an absolute shitbag. It's not a regular occurrence, and I would have more than made it up to her. Yesterday at work, I love how this dude's trying to make himself out to be a bleeding heart and just a poor, unfortunate little soul who's misunderstood. He was having an affair. Let's not forget this. What happened to Amy is super sad, but this dude was having an affair. Let's not feel sorry for him. Yesterday at work, HR and legal were in the CEO's office all day, and my manager ended up cancelling our project meeting because he was with them all afternoon. I was on edge, but an affair isn't exactly a corporate crisis. Haha, it is very much frowned upon, depending on what country you live in and the cultural norms around corporate life. Oh, it's so frowned upon in a lot of places. And I thought something would have happened already if anyone knew. I am now 99% certain it was about me. A few hours ago, I received a message from Amy's phone which said, "This is Amy's brother, Tom. I want you to know it was me. Tom grassed you in." I'm not gonna lie, go Tom. I tried to call, but it went straight to voicemail, and none of my messages have been delivered. I tried to call my manager more times than I should have, and he sent a message saying, "Please don't contact me until Monday morning. I can't discuss anything with you right now." Okay, so I'm getting an image that is being built here that this OP does not like being told no, does not like being ignored, and cannot handle his emotions. So it looks like my universe is going to collapse. A collapse of your own making, my love. I am going to be fired, and my wife will definitely find out why. All I can do is hope that Amy's brother only showed them the messages from that weekend, and they were bad enough. I have no family except my wife and my daughter, and nowhere to go, boo-hoo. All of my friends are either people I've met through my wife or my colleagues. On Monday, everything I've spent over a decade working towards disappears. I can't stop it. I can't talk to anyone about it. So here I am. I know cheaters are the devil, so I'm not expecting sympathy. Good, because I don't think you're going to get much. But this is making my chest hurt, and I need to get it out there. Honestly, this is like, it's so sad what happened to Amy, and I'm super sad that that happened to her. But we can all appreciate why we don't feel bad for him, is what I'm trying to say. Because yes, he lost someone, but he should have never been doing all of that in the first place, you know? Update, June 8th, 2024, 1 week later. I have been consistently harassed for an update since posting, so please take it, gloat because you're such wonderful people in comparison, and then stop following me around Reddit. What did you expect posting something like this, though? I am suffering in the wake of my infidelity and unprofessional behaviour, as I knew I would. I understand that it is an appropriate outcome, and I am taking full accountability. I was suspended from work on Monday, and I'll probably be fired sooner than I thought. I'd hoped I'd be able to save money as HR built their case, but it looks like Amy's brother basically performed the entire investigation for them. After an excruciating 3-hour run-through of everything they had, I spoke to the founder, and he recommended the solicitor that I am now using. The issue is that the company has to come down hard to protect themselves. Yeah, of course they do. Because even though Amy's family doesn't have much chance of a claim, any suggestion of a cover-up could cause damage regardless. I'm guessing then that that means that Amy's brother is mad at the OP because they didn't take her to the hospital for a second time, and they're going to try and blame the OP for Amy's death. I'm assuming maybe that's what that means. The founder still thinks my offer to pay them back will keep it out of court, and some more information has come to light. So it's not certain that I won't be prosecuted, but I'm quietly hopeful. I can't afford to keep the solicitor if this goes much further, especially with a divorce on the horizon. Okay, editing me here. Basically, there is a little bit there that you might have noticed where they said, "Oh, I have said that I'd pay the company back," and blah, blah, blah. Basically what that's referring to, and we find out further down in the post, and I think it might have been missing because it was in the comments, and the relevant comments are obviously missing from the first post. Basically, this dude had been using the company credit card to buy things and take this Amy out on dates and what have you. So that is the missing context there, just in case you were thinking, wait, what does he mean pay them back? Pay them back for what? That's basically what that's referring to. So yeah, he's kind of in the poo a little bit there. This has to be one of the most intense sort of consequences of someone's crappy behaviour and the subsequent downfall of them that I've seen in a while, you know. Things are not good with my wife. I'm still committed to making this as easy as possible for her, but I had to draw a line when it came to my daughter. When I got home from being unceremoniously escorted out of my office, she had already packed a bag for me. She wouldn't let me wait at the house until my daughter was back. She wouldn't let me check I had everything I needed. She wouldn't let me take the car, and she didn't care that I had nowhere to go. Why are you surprised? I spent 2 nights in a hotel, then went back when she refused to let me see my little girl. She tried to stop me, but we own the house jointly, and it was my only option. My wife has family she could stay with, but she won't leave our daughter here, and she's absolutely not taking her, so we're at a stalemate right now. I'm keeping out of her way as best I can, which I appreciate is the least I can do. Get out! What are you doing? In fact, I know what this dude's doing. He doesn't want the wife to take the kid, and he's hoping he can make it as uncomfortable as possible by being there that the wife leaves, because then what does the wife have to do? Pay him child support. I think that's what he's doing because he ain't got a job anymore. He's got no other way of supporting himself, can't afford a house, so he's hoping that she'll leave, he'll have a house to stay in, and then he'll also be able to get child support out of her. The Amy situation is quite difficult to talk about, and a lot hasn't sunk in yet. It turns out that she didn't love me as much as I loved her, if at all. Oh, how'd you figure that? Her brother sent me images of her talking to her friends about me, and it's hard to believe that they came from the same person that I loved, but they are real. Sorry to those who were heavily invested in me being a predatory abuser, but she and her friends had a good laugh about manipulating me for money. Well, that's what you get in it for being a cheater. And a promotion. The role came with a big pay rise, and it looks like her plan was to treat it as free cash and then go to work with one of her friends when it fell through. She knew I'd come under scrutiny whenever she messed up and assumed that I'd keep stepping in to save her. She was right. So you were played like a fiddle, weren't you? Oh dear. And don't get me wrong, Amy's just as bad then, because she knew this dude was married and was going after him to try and use him for money, despite the fact she knew he was married. You know, yes, she has passed on now, and people probably think it's quite tasteless to go, oh yeah, she was a bad person too for doing that because she's passed on, but call a spade's a spade, mate. It is what it is. Bad behaviour is bad behaviour, whether you then pass on or not. Obviously, I'm completely humiliated. I was planning to give up everything to build a life with her, and she was treating me like a joke this whole time. You are a joke. My feelings are complicated, so please don't feel entitled to any expansion on this, but I no longer feel guilt over her death. Reddit acted like I kept her hostage while she begged for help. What actually happened was that I asked if she could ask her friend to take her to the hospital. Wait, I read it wrong. She didn't go to the hospital. Well, that changes everything. Editing me here again. What you're hearing there is me realising that I had read it wrong. At the start, where they'd obviously said that they'd taken them home and said, oh, a friend will take you to the hospital. For some reason, in my head, I comprehended it as, oh, they went to the hospital, had the EpiPen, then went home and thought, oh, if I need to go again, then a friend will take me. I did not realise what they meant was that he'd gone, no, I can't take you, sorry, so I'm going to take you home, and, you know, you'll have to get a friend to take you. So then when obviously up ahead, when it said about, you know, the company maybe being worried about being held responsible, I thought they meant, like, for the affair. That's what I thought the OP was saying, not the actual death, and the company not wanting to be seen as somehow responsible for the death is what I'm assuming then that actually meant. Because yeah, in my head I was like, oh, she'd already been to the hospital, she'd had the EpiPen at the hospital. No, that's not how that works, is it? So yeah, that was me realising that I had been a dumbass and read it wrong. But now it makes a whole lot more sense why the company was so freaked out. Because obviously, yeah, sure, an affair within the workplace is not good. But that, like this whole massive meeting, which took hours and then hours in the meeting again and all of that lot, like it did seem a little bit over the top. Normally, if you've had an affair and it's something that you're not allowed to do, they'll just be like, hey, this is against your contract. Piss off. So I was a little bit like, hey, why are they so freaked out about the fact this dude had an affair? Like, yeah, of course, she then passed away, but those are two separate things. I get it now. My God, sometimes I do worry about myself. What actually happened was that I asked her if she could ask her friend to take her to the hospital because I had to go home. She said that that was fine because she needed to get some clothes back from her anyway, and I dropped her off as normal. Now, obviously, I understand that Amy was a big grown girl, and if she said that her friend would take her to the hospital, then her friend could take her to the hospital. However, it now makes sense to me why the company was like, crap, we don't want to get dragged into some sort of lawsuit over wrongful death. Because I was looking at it going, wrongful death? Sometimes when I read things, I don't quite take them in, obviously. I'm going to leave that in. I ain't re-recording. My throat hurts too much. Ultimately, she was an adult who had a better understanding of her medical needs than I did. I still don't know what happened between us saying goodbye and her death, but whatever it was, it had nothing to do with me. I'm sorry for her family's loss, but I bear no responsibility for her passing. After Amy's messages to her friends were passed around, a few people quietly reached out with words of support. I assume that everyone would write me off, like Reddit did, as an abuser and a predator. I wouldn't say that. I just write you off as a cheating loser. That's what I write you off as. With absolutely no morals. Now it's clear that Amy was using me. They see me as a fool who had then lost it all. It's beyond humiliating, but I have learned I'd rather be pitied than despised, and it improves my legal position with work. They are small mercies, but I'll take what I can get. I remain filled with regret, and I will have learned many lessons by the time I get through this. I may have been deceived, but I am a grown man who made my choices, and I take full responsibility for them. TLDR, I am currently suspended from work, but will certainly be fired. It's unclear whether I am in serious legal trouble. My wife and I are not navigating the end of our relationship brilliantly, but for my daughter's sake, we will get better. I think that the non-brilliant separation is because of you and your behaviour. Amy turned out to be a better manipulator than she was a project manager, and her brother outed her whilst trying to ruin me. Life is deservedly hard right now, but I'm working through it. Yeah, deservedly for sure. But yeah, top and tail of it, it's super sad that Amy passed. Like, that is the main thing here. Like, someone actually passed away, and, but yeah, it's so sad that Amy passed, because, 23 and gone. That's a crazy age for that to happen. It just goes to show how severe allergies can be, doesn't it? And how it can turn on a whim so quickly. Like, you can seem fine and then next thing you're not. It's super, super scary and super sad. I do hope that all Amy's family and friends are doing well because, yeah, that's going to have hit them like a truck, isn't it? From this few hints we've got here, Amy doesn't sound like she was particularly an innocent party either. Not that that has anything to do with her passing away, by the way. I'm just saying that OPs get inflamed in the comments. And I think Amy does not sound very innocent either. So that's very interesting. And I know a lot of people are like, but you can't speak ill of the dead. I'm sorry, but if someone was bad, someone was bad. If they did bad things, they did bad things. Whether we share it or not. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but very, very interesting. Yeah, that the things coming out of the woodworks now that she has passed and that the brother has shared all of those messages. But yeah, like the OP just sounds like they don't want to take accountability. I know they're saying they're taking accountability, but I don't feel like they are in a way either. I feel like they're acting like this is happening to them beyond their own volition. And it's like, well, you did play the part of being an affair partner and having an affair, whatever. What did you expect was going to happen? But yeah, very interesting. Okay, so I think that's where we're going to leave it for today. Now, this is an interesting one because actually, this is only part one. There is going to be a second video with a second part, and it's super interesting because it is not from the OP's perspective. It is from the co-worker's perspective, obviously not Amy, clearly, but from another co-worker's perspective on this whole situation. And I'm telling you now, because I have already recorded it, it's so frigging crazy. You do not want to miss that. So make sure you come back for part 2. Yeah, insane. Crazy. Never done a video like this before. I've never split it up in 2 parts before. It's as strange for me as it is for you guys, I imagine. But make sure you come back for part 2. I guarantee you will not want to miss it. Anyway, if you made it all the way to the end with me today, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you give a little like, subscribe, notifications on, that'll be your initiation into the Cult of Void. Welcome. Whatever it is you're doing for the day, I hope you have a really good rest of the day. Goodbye. My flipping phone. I swear to God, it goes off every time I'm recording. As soon as I'm not recording, this thing makes no noise ever. I swear. All of a sudden, I'm a loner. But yeah, honestly, come back for that part 2. It's so weird. I've never split a video up before. In fact, I didn't even know how to split up my recordings before because I record them straight into the video editor. But I figured out if you just duplicate it, then delete the bits you don't want, you can split it up. It was too long. It was like an hour's recording. I had to break it up. It would not have been fun to edit otherwise, and it probably would have just been a bit weird to all of a sudden have like a 40-minute video on the channel. But yeah, bye!